IfSunSets has just dropped, and here are some quick tips to help you out when you get into the game. Now, before I get into anything to do with this, I want to let you guys know that I'm raising money for Movember this entire month. There is a donation link down in the description below. If you feel so inclined to donate, it would be really, really helpful, and it would help many, many men around the world. Please consider donating. Tip number 1, because this game is one of those beautiful survival games that has a skill tree, which if you want to access, you press tab and then click on skills, you will have a ton of different options. This skill tree is absolutely massive. But what I highly recommend doing when you first start out is to immediately throw some points, because you'll end up leveling up kind of quickly. Throw the first 2 you get into haste, and then the 3rd point that you get in to enhance stamina. Highly, highly recommend. And then stamina recovery. Those ones are going to be key in this game. It'll make it so you can sprint longer, attack for longer, and in the long run, you're going to need that, especially when nighttime comes. Tip number 2, to save yourself some of that stamina that you've managed to get yourself a ton of, you've got a couple of different options. When it comes to running, you can't run that far with your stamina bar. Like, we barely get to this little rock here, just from the end of my wall at my base. So there's a cool little movement tech that myself and a few community members worked out really quickly. And if you want to join that community, there's a Discord link down below. If you want to join, go for it. No pressure, as always. But if you run and jump, you will save yourself an absolute ton of stamina. You'll slowly upgrade your stamina. You'll upgrade your jumping. And the distance that you can travel by doing this is like 2 to 3 times. We managed to make it all the way over here comfortably with stamina to spare. And trust me, exhausting all of your stamina and then trying to move and run away from enemies, it's not the play, okay? It's not what you want to be doing. Trust me, it's really, really bad. Tip 3, when you first spawn in, you're going to spawn right near this little boat over here, and this is what you'll be looking at. You'll have access to a couple of different structures, but you're going to want to build a base almost immediately, and the game has you covered. In this little cave just over to the right here, which I have used, it's got a couple of walls surrounding it. As you can see, that stamina drain sucks. Run and jump everywhere. Now, these walls will be broken down, so you will need to go and get yourself a few resources, but I highly recommend this as a first starter base, and I'll explain why this is here very, very soon. It's going to come down to one of our other tips. Using these walls and using this gate and this entire setup is a really, really good way to help you out, at least when you first start in the game, because once nighttime hits, all bets are off, and this game takes a nasty, nasty turn. And trust me, I struggled massively on the first night. I didn't listen to the tutorial. I didn't place traps down. I suffered massively. Don't do what I did, and that's why I'm making this video. Tip number 4 is going to come to setting up some defenses, and I'm going to do a longer video on this to help you get through, because basically this game has become a bit of a tower defense game. So I know a bunch of you out there will have played those kind of games at least once in your life. But some of the best techniques for starting out and protecting yourself, at least even if you only just have this wall. Okay, and don't walk into the spikes. They have a really bad hitbox. Okay, don't go too close. You will take a lot of damage and you will bleed, and it sucks. In order to make traps, you will need to make yourself a trap hammer, which you have access to in the All Crafting tab or the Tools tab. Just costs a few sticks, really cheap, really easy to build. Craft yourself one of those, chuck it in your hotbar, right-click to get this menu up here. And what I recommend, use whatever traps you wish, but the best ones, in my opinion, are the floor traps. And that is why I've got the base designed the way that I have, because these are the ultimate protection against the nighttime enemies in this game. It is insane how well these work. So that's a little bit of base defense. And the final tip, you're going to go through a lot of resources. So make sure you get yourself some storage set up, and I highly recommend organizing it straight away. The final tip comes down to a little bit of a thing that I like to do, which is base organization and managing all of your different materials, because there's going to be a few that you need. And unfortunately, in this game, you cannot build from chest storage just yet. Hopefully one day soon, but right now you can't. And I highly recommend setting it up so that you have easy access to what you want, because you're going to be using a few things like sticks, fiber, stone, logs constantly. Okay, they're going to take up a lot of room in your inventory if you want to go out and scout places. Because you can always fast travel back to the altar that exists right over there. This is if you're using the beach too, by the way. Feel free to set up your base wherever. The beach is a really good early start, and it makes it a whole lot easier when it comes to night number 1. That's 5 quick tips. I hope they help you out. This game was brutal when I first started. Those are the tips that I wanted to know. Because I've found myself just dumping my inventory, going out and grabbing more stuff, and it was never good. I found myself struggling through night 1. I was running around with a weapon. I don't recommend it. You will get more kills, and there are many, many ways to get a ton more kills in it. I don't recommend running around. It's not a good idea. Good luck with the game, everybody. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in a future video.